Welcome, boys. This is going to be a headrest review of a 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. This beast has the 3.7 liter V6, and you may have noticed, well, any of you boys have been around a while anyway, you know this ain't my beast. But I am going to be doing some work on it today, and I figured while I'm working on it, why not do a headrest review? So the work that needs or needed to be done depends on if this video releases before or after the repairs are done. Is the Serpentine Belt is going to be replaced because we need to replace the idler and tensioner pulley because they're making a lot of noise. So while those are off, we're going to go ahead and replace the drive belt. And I was informed that on the way to me picking this thing up, the engine light came on, and I can see it is on, so I'm going to go ahead and scan that as well, and we'll see what the problem is. But while I have it in my possession anyway, we're going to go ahead and do a headrest review on it. So it's not my car. Normally when I do these headrest reviews, I give you the history of the car, you know, where it came from, where it's going, that sort of thing. But like I said, it's not mine. But I do have some history on the car, so I will let you know. And then we'll dive into the headrest review afterwards. So, this is 2008. It was bought brand new by the current owner in 2008. And she said that she drove a Cadillac before this. There was nothing wrong with the Cadillac, but she always wanted a Jeep. She always wanted the Cherokee, but the big boxy ones. XJs, I think those are? Or the CJs. I don't remember. My Jeep nomenclature fails me in my old age. But that's the Jeeps that she wanted, those old boxy Cherokees. And of course, by the time this thing came out, they had already changed the look of the boxy Cherokee, and those weren't new anymore. So since this was the new body style at the time, she liked it. It was big, Jeepy, and so she bought it. And so now that she bought the Jeep, they sold the Cadillac. She said she put it on Craigslist and it sold like that. I mean, people were bombarding her with messages wanting that thing. So, sold the Cadillac. She was very happy with the Jeep. She said that she does not have any intentions of getting rid of it. She wants to keep the Jeep. So I asked her, well, is there anything about your Jeep you don't actually like? She said no, she loves everything about this Jeep. There's not one thing she does not like. And it's pretty basic interior, very similar to most Jeeps. The stereo's the same that's in the Challenger, controls, all that. The shifter looks like other ones in Jeeps that I've driven. Patriots and Compasses and such. And I think actually the shifter might be the same in the Challenger. I forget because now it's got the pistol grip one. But I think before it looked kind of like this. She has had to do one major repair on this thing, and that is replace the engine. So the car now has 121,000 miles on it. The engine was replaced recently, within the last few months or so, I believe. So I'd say maybe about 120,000-ish, somewhere between 100 and 120. Engine was replaced. I guess it just grenaded, just went bad, which I think is unusual, especially for the 370, because I don't know of it having any actual fatal flaws, like the 3.5 liter engine that you find on like the Chargers and Challengers. Those have that obnoxious ticking noise from the rockers, almost like a knocking noise even, which if you've watched my Challenger videos, you've heard on startup. And, you know, it doesn't have that oil lubrication issue that the 5.7 Hemis have. I don't believe it's known for having those, what's the other problem with those 5.7 Hemis? The valve seats, they drop, and then grenade your engine, usually on the cylinder deactivated ones, or after it's been driving for a long time, you shut it off, and, you know, temperature differentials and such, because the metals are different. But I don't know of any actual problems in these 3.7s, so I just thought that was kind of unusual, but... Unbelievable. And this is why you need a dash cam, because these psychotic people in front of me, not only do I have a Chevy Traverse ahead of me with an expired paper plate from 7/17 to 21, but I just had this Mercedes juke between me and the Traverse, and then cut the Traverse off and is now swerving in the oncoming lane, driving like an absolute madman. And that'd have been real cute if this thing would have got wrecked while it's in my possession, because I'm just trying to do a repair on it. But you better believe, if they would have hit this Jeep and then tried to take off, oh no, I'd have been like, you know what, Jeep's already hit, we're chasing them down, and we're taking out that Mercedes, because this thing's bigger. Unbelievable. I can't even do a proper headrest review in the city. That's why I have to, like, go down. You notice my, like, Corvette headrest review was, like, a lot more mellow and chill, and I wasn't constantly getting distracted like I am in all my other headrest reviews. It's because down in Jefferson County, people don't drive like jerks, so you don't have to be on, like, pins and needles with your head on a swivel the whole time while you're trying to do a headrest review of all things. I almost think I'm going to have to, like, park these cars and do a headrest review just sitting in a parked car in a parking lot in the shade. Unbelievable. She doesn't plan on getting rid of the Jeep. I asked her, what if she did, though? Like, you know, you had to get rid of it. Let's say, you know, it got wrecked or something. You had to get another car. She said she'd probably get another Jeep. So, we covered kind of the history on the car. Headrest. What do I think of it? Well, I've had several minutes. I will say this. When I asked the owner, what did she think of the headrest? She said she didn't really think it was very comfortable. And my first initial impression, first time I sat in the seat and put my head back on the headrest, I would agree. It's not a very comfortable headrest. I mean, it's got some give, but it really doesn't. See, it's not like conformed perfectly to your head. It's not like the Corvette's headrest, where it's like, you know, almost like you looked at it from the top and be kind of like U-shaped, where your head just kind of goes right into it. This is not shaped like that. It's shaped kind of like, maybe kind of like your 04 to 10 Crown Vic headrests, maybe a little, or like a Ford Focus, something like that. That's kind of like what they're shaped and sized as. But they are angled forward, so my head does sit back against the headrest. It will do its job, you know, in a rear-end collision whiplash type thing. But, you know, there's not a lot of give. It's very, very stiff. It's kind of like the Camaro's headrest, which is another uncomfortable headrest. It's also kind of similar to the Ram's, which I don't believe is dropped yet, that headrest review. But I mentioned in the last headrest review I did on the Challenger how I kind of group them together. So most comfortable headrests goes to BMW E38 and the Corvette. So those are two similar. I don't know if you call me flipping that person off, but I wanted to turn left. I assumed they were going to go straight. They didn't use their blinker. And then at the last second, after I've been sitting here for like several seconds, waiting for them to turn, or I mean, waiting for them to go straight, they flip on their blinker. It's like, see, that's why you use your indicators, people. So, like, we know what you're doing. Okay, headrest. I would rate it up there with the Ram, this, the Camaro, and the Crown Vic. They're all kind of lumped together as uncomfortable headrests. They serve a purpose. You can rest your head up against them, but, I mean, they're nothing to write home about. It's not like, oh my god, the headrest in the Jeep is amazing, you need to buy the Jeep for the headrest. No, that's like C4 Corvette and BMW E38. Those are the cars that you buy for the headrests. And your mediocre ones, the ones that are like, you know, pretty comfortable, but not super comfortable, those would be all the other ones like Town Car, Challenger, and I'm hitting a lot of red lights. Town car, Challenger, of all the ones that I've tested so far, those are kind of the same. But when you talk uncomfortable, and then the most absolute uncomfortable ones is we're talking like Camaro, this, Crown Vic, decent ones, Challenger. There's another Jeep behind me. Same one. So that's my headrest review on this thing. Nothing to write home about. It is okay. You can rest your head up against it, but you're not going to fall asleep driving this thing because your head's super duper ultra relaxed. You could fall asleep in the E38 and the Corvette. I've slept many times in the Corvette overnight, just sitting in it. And the E38, you can definitely fall asleep in that. Very, very cushy. But I think that'll do it for this headrest review. So if you want more riveting headrest review content, stick around. We got many more to go. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.